planning on creating your own home studio? In this video, I'm going to give you my guidelines and tips on the things that I think you should buy first in order for you to save money, but at the same time, get some proper work done. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a short tour of my home studio. So make sure you watch till the end. Hey guys, I'm Daryl Eakin. I just want to say this is going to be my first time I'm actually going to be having a video where I talk here on my YouTube, but this isn't going to be my last. So if you guys are interested in watching videos regarding recording, mixing, or video editing, or Lightroom for pictures as well, please click the subscribe button below, hit that bell icon for notifications. So like I said in the intro, I'm going to be discussing with you guys my recommendations on the stuff that you'll probably need to buy first if you plan to start your own home studio. And the things that I'll be saying will be in the order of which I think is best to buy first, so that you can get some actual work done instead of you going out there and buying some random stuff that you like and see in a shop or some online site. Number one, laptop or desktop. Because of course you need a place to record and edit your audio and video. So with regards to the laptop and desktop, I'd recommend getting an i5 processor or higher. An i3 can get the work done, but when you plan to record a lot of tracks at the same time, or edit a lot of tracks at the same time, and doing your video editing as well, especially if you plan to use Adobe Premiere Pro or After Effects, it's just gonna kill your time, give you a bunch of headache. So I recommend getting something right in the middle, which is an i5. But if you can get an i7 from the start, that's even better. Which brings me to my next thing, which is the laptop or desktop RAM. I'd recommend using an 8GB RAM, 16 or 32 if you can. A laptop with 4GB RAM can get the work done, but if you plan to use a lot of plugins in your DAW and during the rendering, also rendering of your video as well, the 4GB will really slow down your work, and who knows, it might crash in the middle. Having an SSD card is highly recommended as well, but like myself, I don't have an SSD card yet, but I'm using the normal hard drive and it still gets the work done. So if you do have money to invest on an SSD card, might as well go for it, but you can work with the normal hard drive. Number two, a recording interface. A recording interface looks like this, and what a recording interface does, it removes the latency that you hear compared to recording stuff directly into your laptop or plugging things directly into your laptop. Another thing the recording interface does is it clears up the signal coming from your microphone or instrument into your DAW. A recording interface is usually connected using a USB AB type, or also known as printer cable. It looks like this. Another good thing about recording interfaces is they have their own individual gain knobs, which is very useful for microphones and instruments. And condenser microphones that need a 48 phantom power, the recording interfaces, most of them come with it. And of course, the stuff you need to connect into the recording interface, which is your instruments and the microphone. With regards to microphone, I recommend getting a studio microphone, possibly like this one from the start, especially if you're a person that wants to do podcasts or vocal recording for covers on YouTube or anything, live streaming. These are very good mics. But if you do not have the budget to purchase one of these and you are already in possession of a dynamic vocal microphone such as a Shure SM58 or a Sennheiser E835S, which is what I have at the moment, these mics can actually be used as well, especially the Sennheiser E835S. Reason being, it already has a bit of high end, even though you don't mess with the EQ. So if you have a recording interface without any EQ, that is probably good for you. But even so, these two dynamic microphones can be used for recording vocals, which I have done myself, as you can see in some of my videos. I've used it a couple of times already, and it did a pretty good job. You just need to learn how to play with the EQ in post, add a bit of compression and all, But like I said, if you do have the budget to purchase one of these condenser microphones, might as well go for it. Number 3, your DAW or digital audio workstation and your video editor. Your DAW is where you actually record your audio, and there are a bunch of recording softwares out there. Some of the popular ones are Pro Tools, Cubase, Persona Studio One, and many more. But there are a lot of free programs as well, such as Audacity. And I myself have started with Audacity ever since I opened up my YouTube channel. I didn't even know about Pro Tools or Cubase back then. So I was coping up with Audacity, and that's where I actually learned a bunch of stuff. But luckily nowadays for you guys, Pro Tools actually does have a free program on their site, which is called Pro Tools First, and I'll be leaving that link below. So if you guys want to try out Pro Tools, you guys are lucky, they have it. Video editor, I myself use Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects. You guys can use Filmora, I believe it's free. If it's not free, I'm mistaken. Number 4, which is something that almost everybody is in possession of, a cell phone or smartphone. Most of the smartphones nowadays have a pretty good video recording resolution, which is 1080, 4K, 720 is even fine. If you are on a tight budget, these type of phones with that certain resolution can still be used and can still be made to look great based on how you edit your videos. But if you do have the budget to buy something extra, then I'd recommend getting a DSLR camera, of course, or a mirrorless DSLR. There are a bunch of decent priced DSLRs out there, and I'm pretty sure you can find some. My recommendations on the cameras, I'll probably do it in another video, because that's a whole other concept, a whole other idea. Number 5, it's studio headphones or studio monitors. These things you will need when you're editing your audio. I'd recommend studio type headphones and monitors because the frequency response of these things are flat, meaning they don't have a high boost or a bass boost, which most speakers have or most headphones have. Because if you do plan to record your audio on your regular headphones, there are tendencies that if you export your music, it's gonna sound different on a different platform. Probably different on a cell phone, different on a PC, on the radio, it's gonna sound very different. If you really don't have the budget to buy a studio monitor or studio headphones, the best thing you can do is study the frequency response of the headphones you are using. It's gonna be quite difficult, but then study the frequency response of your headphone and then probably compensate in post. Like, make sure you're not editing too much based on the frequency response of your headphones. So guys, those are the 5 things that I recommend you get first if you plan to start your own home studio. Let's review. Number 1 is a laptop or a desktop. Number 2 is a recording interface and a microphone. Number 3 is a DAW and a video editor. Number 4 is your cell phone or camera. Number 5 is studio headphones or studio monitors. So you can actually get work done if you get the stuff from number 1 till 3, because everyone nowadays has a cell phone. So you can probably save up for your studio headphones or monitors later on. I myself started recording stuff without studio headphones, without studio monitors as well. So it was pretty difficult, but it is possible. Alright, so now I'm actually going to give you a short tour of my home studio and the stuff I've been using to make music, record covers, and you'll be surprised. 80% of the stuff here in my studio, I got it as a secondhand. I didn't buy it new. So you guys can do the same. Just make sure you test out the unit properly. Make sure if it has any faults or any problems. So most of the stuff here in my studio is secondhand, but I did a really good job because I made the right choices of what to buy. So hopefully you guys will do the same. Okay guys, so this here is my setup, my studio at the moment. Let's start off with the laptop. This is an Asus GL552VW. Got it as a second hand, as I said. Found it on an online site here in where I'm currently staying. This comes with an i7 processor, 16 GB RAM, and it does come with a graphic card, which is very important as well for video editing. So I was quite lucky with this thing. I've tried running a lot of plugins and rendering videos. It's quite smooth. Second thing, guys, like I said, recording interface. My recording interface is a Lexicon Omega. This comes with a 4-channel multi-track recorder, meaning you can actually record 4 tracks at the same time. I've had this unit for almost 8 or 9 years, and it did a really good job over the years. I am still using it, as you can see it, and all the cables are running through the back. And here in my laptop, these cables are all for the instruments, if ever I want to plug into the DAW directly, or it's also the recording interface, my hard drives. And here are my studio monitors, which are M Audio BX5. Same thing, I got these as secondhand. I found them on the same online site that I found the laptop, the interface. I also found those studio monitors. We'll be getting to that mixer in a bit. For my other stuff here around my studio, the stuff that I did buy new is the keyboard, the mouse, and the monitor, which were all from Advanti, which is probably the best PC shop here in the country. So now let's move on to the microphone. The microphone that I have here, which I used to record the first part of this video, is an MXL 440, which is actually from La Guitarra, another shop here in the country as well for instruments, a lot of guitars, obviously with the name. My keyboard over here, I also did get as a second hand from an online site. It's a Korg Chrome. A very good keyboard, which I also do use live. As you can see, this is the cable I was saying that is plugged directly into my laptop in case I don't want to use the onboard sounds, if I want to use a plugin which is inside my DAW. But the sounds inside this keyboard are amazing. I'll probably do a review on this keyboard some other time. And now the drums. These are the drums that I use in most of the videos. It's a Yamaha DTX 440, I believe. And this is also connected using a USB cable which runs directly into the computer. I can change each individual sound of the drum using EZdrummer. EZdrummer is a plugin where you can actually change individual sounds as if they are mic'd in a studio, which is pretty cool. I'll probably do a video on that as well next time. My guitar pedal down here is a Boss GT100. I also do use this live. A very good unit, very sturdy. It has great sounds and it's quite easy to set up. My guitar over here is a Cort guitar with Seymour Duncan pickups. This was actually purchased a couple of months ago, and it actually provided the sound that I've been looking for a couple of years. Same thing, this is a second-hand guitar. Quite lucky. Let's get to the camera. The camera I used for the first part of this video was this Canon 70D, which is also my go-to camera for photography. I don't know if you can see that camera on the viewfinder. That's the camera I'm using at the moment. It's a mirrorless camera, the Panasonic LX100, which I do use for a couple of my videos. Reason is it shoots in 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080 at 60 frames per second, which gives me some good B-roll shots as well, like the intro. And here we have the main system if I want to record full band. Digital mixer from Yamaha, the Yamaha TF1, which is probably I think it is the smallest of its model. A 16-channel digital mixer with I believe 16 outputs as well. So this is really good if you want to record live or at home, because with that 16 outputs, meaning you can actually have individual outputs for each musician and increase the volume of whatever they want to hear. But if this is plugged into the DAW, no matter what changes you make in the EQ, compression and all, the signal that goes into the DAW is flat. You can set that up here in a certain way where it doesn't take the EQ or compression that you do here, so that you can still make those changes in post. And here is a gimbal, this is a gimbal which I use for recording the videos as well. It's a Ronin S from DJI. As you can see, I modified it a bit to take the weight of mirrorless cameras, which is not supposed to be that way. I'll do another video on that next time. As you can see, one of the lights I use here is covered. This is actually covered by an old t-shirt that I have, just to act as a diffuser, which did its job quite well. The shelf here on my table, I actually built this myself. I cut up 3 pieces of wood just so I can elevate one monitor, which makes my work a lot easier. If I'm using Pro Tools and Cubase, I got the edit window and the mix window down there, so very useful. I put up some LED lights on my ceiling just to give a nice look around the room. These panels are actually not real wood. They're actually kind of stickers. They're morely used for photography. So I just thought of sticking them up here just to give it a good vintage look. Some of my displays here, like this cap and this cap, actually came from a very talented musician who's a lot younger than me. His name is Sean Ezra. I'll leave his YouTube channel below as well. Very talented musician, plays keyboards, guitar, drums, and he does sing nowadays as well. So make sure you do check him out. So I guess that's it for my home studio, guys. Anything you guys got any questions about of the stuff here, please do comment below. So that's it for this video, guys. I really hope the information I gave you was useful to you in some way or another. If you guys have any questions or inquiries, please feel free to comment down below and I'll answer them as soon as possible. If you guys have any ideas on what videos I should do next, please comment that too. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.